What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. In this video, we're going to hear a surprising interview from Nancy Pelosi. You're going to like this one. Also, we're going to hear from the rest of the Democrats and the Republicans, as well as President Donald Trump, on if we're going to get $600 stimulus checks, $2,000 stimulus checks, or if we're going to end up with nothing and end up waiting until the new Congress comes in, which is next Monday. We're going to go over all the new details, everything that's going on in this video. Don't forget to like this video down below. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates regarding the second stimulus check, mortgage relief, rental assistance, unemployment extension. We cover it all. Okay, first, me and my wife were pretty shocked when we seen this interview by Nancy Pelosi. You guys let me know what you think of it.
Attention, America. I have some groundbreaking news. Your money problems are now over, all right? No more worrying if you can pay your bills or feed your families. No more sleepless nights wondering, are they going to turn off my electricity? Well, you don't have to worry anymore. It's over. Your money problems are now a thing of the past. We did it. We did it. We came to a resolution, ladies and gentlemen, and you are in for a treat, all right? Our Christmas gift to you this year will be in the amount of $600. That's right. That's right. $600. I mean, some of you out there probably have never even seen that much money before, and you might, need to sit down after hearing the news. $600 is a lot of money. It's like a month's worth of groceries. And it's a car payment or a PG&E bill. Imagine what you can do with $600.
Oh my God, I see that. I was just rolling on the floor laughing. Let me know what you think of that. But that was a piece of art, really. That was a piece of artwork there. Let me know what you think of Nancy Pelosi's newest interview. But on a more serious note, very serious note, is that the unemployment, a couple programs are ending today. The pandemic unemployment for self-employed contractors, gig workers, is now officially over unless President Donald Trump signs this bill into law. In addition to that, we have the government will shut down on Monday if President doesn't sign this into law. We're going to try to see what's going to happen on Monday, which we'll talk about here in just a minute, as well as a $2,000 stimulus bill, a standalone bill that's actually coming from the Democrats, even though it's President Donald Trump who's demanding this bill. I'm still laughing about that. But first, let's hear from House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer from the Democrats on what to expect.
We can only do in the House what we can do. We will have a new president in less than 30 days, of course. And that president will give leadership. This president, again, told Republican leaders that he was going to sign this bill. And then he gave his 5-minute press conference. We can do what we can do. And so on Monday, I will be talking to the Speaker and to the members of the Democratic caucus to determine exactly how we want to move forward. But we're not going to let the government shut down, nor are we going to let the American people down from our perspective. Let us hope that we join together. As I mentioned, so many of these bills were overwhelmingly bipartisan. Just days ago, both the House and the Senate overwhelmingly passed a bill that we sent to the President of the United States, who has demurred so far. He has not said he's going to veto the bill. I hope he doesn't veto the bill. I hope he signs this bill. And then, as President-elect Biden has said, we will have more work to do, which is what all of my colleagues have said.
So just a quick follow-up. So then the next CR would have to be beyond January 20th. Is that what you're saying? You have no faith in
No, I didn't say that. I said we are considering our options and what steps we will take. And I will tell you that there are continuing discussions going on between the Speaker and the Secretary of Treasury and the administration.
Wondering, in hindsight, if it was a mistake to tie the omnibus to the COVID relief. Apparently, President Trump doesn't know, even though his administration requested it, that foreign aid is in the omnibus. So, in hindsight, was that a mistake? The COVID relief is so desperately needed for American people, why not separate it out? Why not have two separate bills?
Let me say, perhaps the only mistake was believing the President and Secretary Mnuchin when we were told that the bill we passed would be signed by the President of the United States. We signed it on that premise with that expectation and with that representation. So in that context, no, it was not a mistake, because we thought, as the previous bills, understand, we've had 4 bills that passed overwhelmingly after negotiations with the participation of Secretary Mnuchin on behalf of the administration, and the President signed those bills. So this is an anomaly in this process.
So there's a couple things to talk about there. Number one is President Donald Trump and the White House team did give us the impression that Trump was going to sign it. I mean, we had a tweet from President Donald Trump like a week or 2 ago that said he would sign a stimulus bill. And then actually after they passed the bill, we had a report from a White House aide that said that President Trump would pass the bill after the House and the Senate already passed the bill. And well, apparently President Trump just changed his mind on the bill. The question is, will he change his mind again and just sign this $900 billion bill into law, which has the $600 stimulus checks? It also has the $300 per week unemployment, mortgage and rental assistance, food assistance, billions of dollars for the vaccine, $82 billion for schools, money, PPP money. There's all sorts of different things in this bill that is really needed. And if we want to talk about the pork, what they're calling the pork, the millions and billions of dollars that's going to foreign countries, that's not in the stimulus package. That's in the government funding bill that gets passed every year. Every year, money like that happens. It is a very small amount of money compared to, say, a stimulus check that is, say, $250 billion for $1,200 checks, or $160 billion, round numbers here, for the $600 checks. However, that money they are giving away to other countries really should just be spent on Americans and people right now that are struggling. But the problem is that's in the government funding bill, and they do that every year. Every year they pass a new government funding bill for 12 months. So every year there's money like that that goes to foreign countries. But what they were referencing in that clip is that President Donald Trump actually asked for certain parts of that foreign aid earlier in this year that actually came from the White House requesting that money. But I can't really put blame on anybody for the foreign money, because that happens every single year, year after year after year. We can go back decades, and the U.S. gives money to other countries for all sorts of different programs. But when it comes time to give stimulus checks, they're like, yeah, we're going to only be able to do a $600 stimulus check. Then Trump changes his mind and says, well, I want to do $2,000 checks. And the Democrats are like, all right, let's do it. And then Trump's own Republicans are trying to stifle the bill. In fact, this morning, President Donald Trump tweets, I simply want to get our great people $2,000 rather than the measly $600 that is now in the bill. Also stop the billions of dollars in pork. I totally get this. He just wants a larger stimulus check, but his own Republicans are the ones kind of giving the problems for this bill. And I think the problem on why a lot of people are very mad about this money going to foreign aid is because people see, and this is totally true, is that if we have millions and billions of dollars that we can afford to send to other countries, then we should be able to afford to take care of our own people, Americans, working people, people on Social Security, SSDI, SSI, people that are struggling to make ends meet, dealing with this pandemic. You know, millions of people have caught this pandemic, caught the virus in the U.S. We should be able to take care of our own people first before we send billions and billions of dollars overseas. That's just my thought. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you agree or do you disagree with me? However, in 48 hours, the Democrats are going to unveil a standalone bill in the U.S. House of Representatives, probably along with a government extension for the CR, because the government's going to shut down on Monday if they don't pass something. So the top Democrats are going to unveil a brand new standalone bill, which does go to a vote It can't be objected like an amendment can be, and it will be voted on in the U.S. House of Representatives on Monday. Now, remember, the Democrats can pass this all on their own because they have a majority in the House. They only need 51%, or 50% plus one vote to pass it in the House. Then it will go to the Senate. And that is really where the key will be. Will Mitch McConnell bring it to the floor? Will he allow it to be voted on? Will we get enough votes in the Senate? We need 60% to pass the filibuster rule and pass this bill to the president, which I don't see any reason why the president wouldn't sign this. It's a standalone bill just for $2,000. So there's no pork, no additional things in there. But they need 13 Republican senators to vote for this, along with all the Democrats in the Senate. Now, when the $900 billion bill passed, it passed like 91 to 9, 91 to 8. I think there was one person that wasn't there. So 91% of people passed this in the Senate. So the question is, can they get just 13 votes from Republicans, which is less than 25%, to vote for this standalone bill that their own president, Republican President Donald Trump, is demanding? So that's the real question. That vote is gonna happen here within 48 hours or so on Monday, along with a government shutdown bill. I personally think there is enough votes in the for Senate Republicans to vote for this. I mean, we had several different Republican senators, Senator Josh Hawley, Mitt Romney. Just yesterday, Senator Lindsey Graham came out, and they all came out in support for larger stimulus checks. Lindsey Graham, who was with President Donald Trump yesterday, just golfing, spent like the majority of the day with him, and then basically came out and said, President Donald Trump actually is more committed now to $2,000 stimulus checks than he ever has been. So if that's the case, Republicans need to pass this bill in the Senate, and literally within like 2 days, we can have $2,000 stimulus checks passed in the House and the Senate, and this bill on the president's desk. The interesting thing is, if that does happen, he'll have two bills sitting on his desk: a bill for the $900 billion, which has $600 checks in there, unemployment, rent relief, mortgage assistance, PPP grants, all those different things, and their money for schools, and he'll have the $2,000 stimulus checks. So he could pass both of them if he wanted, because if he's happy with the 2,000 and he thinks we still need all those other programs, which we kind of do, we need money, vaccine money. I mean, we need all that stuff there. We could actually get a $2,000 check and a $600 check. Or he could veto the $900 billion bill and say just the $2,000 checks are enough, but then all those other programs don't get passed. What would probably happen then is then they would need to go back to Congress and draft a bill, probably without stimulus checks, because the $2,000 would have been passed. And they'll probably come up with a bill with basically everything in that bill minus the $600 stimulus check. So the bill would be a little bit lower because we had already passed $2,000 stimulus check. And that bill would probably be the same thing of all that stuff in there. Now, remember, that bill is different than the government funding bill. That stimulus bill is not the bill with the pork in it, or the billions and millions of dollars that's going to other countries. That's the other bill, the omnibus bill. That's the government funding bill. That's the money that goes to overseas. So they could request that to also be changed, but then you kind of get into a bigger battle when you start wanting to change this and change that and take this out and take that out. Then you kind of go through the whole process over again. So that's why it's a pretty good idea that they have this standalone bill for $2,000 stimulus checks, because there's no pork in there. There's no other things to debate. There's no this, that. It's literally just the checks that President Donald Trump demanded. If Trump didn't demand that, this bill wouldn't even be here. The Democrats wouldn't have introduced a $2,000 bill after they passed the $900 billion bill, literally 2 days after, for $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, the Democrats are going to do this in January, not necessarily for 2,000. I can't really speculate on how much they'll be yet. But Joe Biden has said there will be a third stimulus check coming in January. And we do know, if the $600 was the only one passed, that there would be a lot more coming in January, as well as more packages, another unemployment extension, an eviction moratorium. All those different things need extensions, okay? But first, we're going to have this $2,000 stimulus bill, and they're going to vote on it here, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Let me know what you think is going to happen with this $2,000 standalone bill that Trump is the one who demanded it. I mean, this bill wouldn't have happened We wouldn't even have had a chance for $2,000 stimulus checks if it weren't for President Trump right now, which the Democrats have taken under their arm, and they're like, okay, well, we'll vote for it. We want this. It's your Republicans who don't want it, which is very strangely ironic. So anyways, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. New videos come out at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click the bell icon next to the subscribe button and click all notifications if you want to get notifications when we go live. And don't forget to subscribe to our second channel, The Daily Dirt, which is this bottom video right here. This top video is my newest stimulus check video, and this is a video teaching you how to start your own Amazon FBA business, which I teach people how to do and replace their 9-to-5 income. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.